Hello my craft friends, Tracy here with Sweet Bay Lane. Now this video doesn't need a huge introduction because we're going to be making a few organizational items. The first one is something I'm making for my laundry room to help organize me, and the second one is going to be helping my friend get organized in her mobile office. So let's go ahead and get started. For our first DIY, we're going to be using one of these old fence pickets, along with this industrial shelf bracket. And if you don't have an old fence picket, you can also pick up a 1x6 from the hardware store. Now that we have our board laid out, I'm going to be using a stencil on mine. And my stencil paper is actually some contact paper from Walmart. I just put it through my silhouette machine and it cuts perfectly. The only trick is to make sure that your pressure is very low. And once I have my stencil cut out, I then just remove the lettering and I apply for my quote-unquote transfer tape a piece of clear shelf liner. I then peel the back of my stencil and attach it to my board. And here I'm showing you the Duck brand of clear shelf liner that I use for my transfer tape. Once I have it down, I then will just press it into the wood using a gift card and my fingers. Once I have that done, I then just remove the transfer tape or the clear shelf liner. Okay, now we're going to move on and we're going to stencil our design. And I like to use this indoor-outdoor apple barrel paint to stencil because it's a little thicker and it doesn't bleed or run underneath the edges. Okay, now that we have it done, we've done a few light coats. We're going to remove our stencil. I think this is the most rewarding part, removing that stencil and seeing those nice crisp lines. And here's what we have so far. And now we're moving on to attach our industrial shelf bracket. And this is very easy. You'll just find the center. And once you've found the center, you're just going to attach your screws. But first, I like to mark my holes. Once we have our screws in, I added a D-ring hanger to the back. And this is going to be perfect to help hang my clothes as I'm taking them out of the dryer. And now we're moving on to DIY number 2. For this DIY, we're going to be using 2 pieces of the peel and stick wallpaper from Dollar Tree, along with this wood pallet sign I purchased from Hobby Lobby back during their last year's spring clearance of 90% off, which made it a great deal. I think I paid $1.70 for this. What a steal, huh? And for our first step, we're just going to attach our wallpaper to the front of our sign. And once we have that done, we're just going to trim away the excess paper and then come in and clean up the edges with some sandpaper. Hey, if you like what you see so far, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you here at Sweet Bay Lane. Now we're going to move on and we're going to add some elements to the front of our wood plaque. One of them is going to be this metal sign and the other one is going to be the clip from this clipboard. Now this clipboard was a kind of failed craft project, but I loved that clip to it. So what I did is I took it outside and cut away all the chipboard and just have the clip remaining. But first we're going to stick our metal piece to our wood plaque. And to do that, we're just going to use simple hot glue. Now that we have that glued on, we're going to take some of these furniture brad nails and we're going to cover our holes. This does two things. It finishes the design and it also gives the metal piece a little more strength. Now you could also use thumbtacks for this too. I really like how those brad nails finish that metal piece off. Now we're going to attach this clip from our clipboard and I'm just going to be attaching it with some hot glue. And then once we have that glued on, we're left with this beautiful organizational wall hanging. And that clip is perfect for those long notepads. And then you can use your magnets to hold other papers or photos or whatever you want to organize on your metal piece. I love how this turned out. I think I'm going to have to make one for myself, maybe with a different pattern paper. Thank you so much for joining me for these two fun organizational crafts. If you're still in the crafting spirit, go ahead and click on one of these upcoming boxes. And until next time, make sure and keep it crafty.